So basically, I mean, in that entire ordeal, the only ones who really have anything to show from that slave trade, I don't know who they traded with, all right, are them. They are the only one who have something to show. I mean, Africa have been, I mean, exploited since since they set foot over there, and they really never left. Greetings, my name is Queen Ngningone II. Today I will basically touch on a very particular topic, which is the topic of unity. Okay, so thank you everyone who took the time to watch the video our brother Phil posted on his channel, the African Diaspora News. So yeah, and I couldn't be happier to see that the message actually did what it intended to do, which was to start the process of healing. Because other than that, how can we heal based on lies? All right. Like our people say, our people in Africa say, as long as the lion doesn't have a storyteller, right, the hunter will always get the best side of the story. Well, it was so until they crowned me. I remember reading in one of the comments, somebody said that it was the first time you hear one of us to come forward and say our side of the story. Well, Africans, especially the men, they're proudful. They have their ego, they have their pride, and it was an embarrassment what happened to us. It was a big tragedy. It was a major loss. Everybody got wiped out. We lost all these people. We lost all these kings, their descendants, their everything. Because it was a war. Like I said on that video, this is what they don't want to say. I mean, when they show up at first, they didn't show any hostility, right? They came as friends. Those who want to know more, you know, you can watch the video, The Birth of the Queen, Part 1 and 2, where I go more into details. So much hasn't changed when it comes to us. If you notice their behavior around us, it's their actions let us know that they're still in conflict with us. It's a kind of undeclared war, right? Because they know the giants we are. So today I'm gonna touch on the topic of unity. Because it's important. We got where we are because of the failures of our ancestors, right? We have to go back and identify, you know, where we dropped the ball, where we fell. So, you know, we can let it simmer and spring back from it. That's why I don't like to entertain the kind of pity party, because it's not helping us. In the contrary, we are amazing people. We are God's firstborn, his first issue. Come on. And he gave it all to us. For those of you who are already parents, you know the excitement and the preparation you went through in welcoming your firstborn, right? You know, I mean, the kind of money you spend, you went for the best of everything you could afford, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to the Creator, right? That's who we are. in his eyes. So he gave us everything. He gave us beauties and strength of gods. Because we're the firstborn. I mean, so he gave us the best looking man on earth. And he gave us the most beautiful women, right? I mean, we have everything. We are stars being named after us. I mean, our beauty is just incredible. The Creator took the time in designing us. He took the time in preparing us, the kind of land he gave us. I mean, Africa is still the motherland. From there comes 92% of the world, natural resources. Wherever the world needs to go around, 92% of it comes from Africa. So with such wealth, you have to understand we can't catch a break. I want many of you to become conscious of that. To whom much is given, much is expected, because you attract a lot of enemies, a lot of jealousy, so you become a target. So we have to keep that in mind in everything we do. If you guys went to Nubia the Path to Return website, and you must have seen the video, my message to our children, it's called Dear Children of Africa, right? I believe it's in part 2 where I say that basically, you know, it's true that our people didn't have firearms and cannons and everything, but nevertheless, we had 2 great empires in Africa. The Wasulu Empire, which it was a big empire under Emperor Samurai Ture. And there was also, of course, the mighty Zulu Empire. I mean, they just could go around and try to befriend Emperor Shaka. They knew they couldn't touch their military. And I know that even if the smaller kingdoms and stuff fell, it was a matter of time, you know, had our people stayed united. It was a matter of time before the Wasulu and the Zulu to come to the help and others and free the continent. But the thing was division. And in that video, I explained how easy it was for them to come and take over our lands. Number one, I mean, they just didn't fall on us like that. Our kings, you know, all the African kingdoms got the prophecy. We all share the same prophecy that an era of terror was coming, that we had to prepare. We had to unite under one mighty kingdom. That was going to be the only way for our world to survive. But of course, at that time, division has rotten the whole continent. And it started within our homes, forgetting that the Creator had instructed us to be one. If we're going to be a polygamous wife, we are one under that one husband, and all our children should be raised as one. But when we went in there, we did our own thing, not taking into account our position. The future of that kingdom was in that house while they were, you know, making a mess. So these are like the mistake of our ancestors that we need to correct, should we even think of standing a chance of survival as a people. As many of you know, the plan really is for them to take over Africa without the Africans. All right, so that's why they penetrated us in a way where they had no intention of leaving. So those of you still entertaining the thought that your own kings, your crown king sold you, it's a fallacy, it's a lie, okay? If it was a collaboration, we would have maintained our sovereignty. We still would have these kingdoms established. We would have something to show off what the wealth we made from selling our own kids, right? We would have evidence, economical evidence. You are either just so damaged beyond repair, because in this day and age, I mean, you can search about anything on the internet. So basically, I mean, in that entire ordeal, the only ones who really have anything to show from that slave trade, I don't know who they traded with, all right, are them. They are the only one who have something to show. I mean, Africa have been, I mean, exploited since since they set foot over there, and they really never left. So how come our kingdoms, all everything disappeared, and our countries, even the names of our countries, were chosen by them? So any one of our children out there still repeating that fallacy is a hateful person. Okay, the person is so damaged that they want to cling to that as an excuse to justify violence against other blacks, because they can't attack the person who hurt them because they live in the white man land. The white man is very powerful. They can't beat him up like they really want to. So they want to hold on to that thought that they came from savages who freely sold them to these other savages. So you see my point? I know that in America, they were successful in feeding that lies to many. But also at the same time, I come across some of our kids who just knew that it couldn't be true, who just knew that something didn't add up. So it's almost like in any interaction with African Americans, it's bound to fail, because they come with that mindset of destroying you when you're African. I run a company, a language service company. I have a translation agency. And yeah, God knows I get to work with all kind of nationalities, you know, all kind of races, because I mean, we cover about 100 and something languages. So we are to work with other people, but I kid you not, in 14 years in business, the only ones who felt they could drag me to court over lies, because I mean, with the internet, they pull you up, they see your house, and one of these little girl was even went and filed a claim and send it to my house, like kind of saying, I know where you live, stuff like that. Only our people. 14 years in business, the three people who dragged me to court, and by the way, who lost, all of them, are my people. So I can't sit here and say that no, it's kumbaya. We have some serious things to address. We have some serious healing to make if we're gonna stand a chance to survive as a people. All right? So this is where I come in. I can't take it personal, the multiple attacks, because unfortunately, many of our people have become their former master. So the African that crossed and came has been long gone. The spirit in some of them is just that the Smith, the Jackson, the Taylor, whomever broke our ancestor. That's the one we're dealing with, and that's what helped me, to carry on. I'm like, these are our people. What can we do? We must heal. We can't sit there and just point fingers. Oh, you did this, you did that. So we must heal. So I'm gonna ask, all of you to rise up in that unity. We are one. In that unity frequency. Many of our people, even those who consider themselves woke, no, you're not woke if you have a problem when a black from elsewhere, when a black from the Caribbean, when a black from Africa, when a black from Saudi Arabia gets an opportunity here. Many of our people here feel upset because they feel that, oh, this is the piece of cake that should have come to me. I'm the one who was here held as slave. I'm the one who, but and then this is the plantation mentality, because our former master, what they were doing, the supplies were restricted. just so that we could fight one another. You know, we come from royalty. We have to always go back to who we are. Yes, they made of us what they made of us, but we know now, we know better. We have to rise and claim our throne back. And we can't think of ever getting there if we backstabbing each other, if we are killing each other's opportunity and stuff like that. The minute I started hiring our people, man, they came for me. And at first I thought that it was just because I'm a foreigner or stuff like that. But I realized that that's how they do to their brothers and sisters here who have succeeded. I mean, these celebrities that dare to stick their neck out, be like that in the community, they always targeted. Our own people bring them down, you know. So we need to stop all that toxicity. I read in one of the comment, one girl said, "Oh, we are not the same. We are not the same people. Those who believe they come from Israel, those who accuse others to be Camite." I don't care what any of you say, or I don't care what any of you claim you know. But what you cannot do is come and try to debate me over my own history. Okay? Those who don't know where we come from, I mean, they go to Israel, they claim Israel is the promised land. And no, Israel had never been our promised land. We came from there. This is what our ancestors showed me when I got initiated. We came from there and journeyed and spent 5 centuries in Egypt before we started the Bantu migration, before they pushed us out. So we entered Africa. Africa is our promised land. If you base your knowledge based on the map they have the world map upside down. You know, I have one of our priests that I will be inviting, you know, for him to give us, you know, teaching on our Bantu Israelite spirituality. These people didn't teach us anything. Congo means Christ. Isaiah Ongola, Isaiah Congo. That's Jesus Christ. I mean, we know our stuff. We know who we are. Okay? So, Yaoundé, by the way, that's Jerusalem. I'm going to post a video about our royals. Some of our kids, they found their way already there. Do you know? They found their way already there. They have moved there, everything. So like I said, each person has a journey. It's just like I said in one of these videos. You know, I was called to do this. That I was called to come and reach out and help our people heal by telling you the truth so that we can detox. All right? Nobody sold anybody. I know some people consider themselves aborigines. I just don't like the energy, the toxicity. If you really feel you're from there, I'm sure you guys were established there. I'm sure you guys have a king or queens and you have a whole lineage. Go and look for your people. Please do. Don't come and spit venom in anything attached to me. African royalty, we are royals. I'm African. A lot of you say I'm not African, I'm this. Take that toxicity anywhere. As for us, the royals, royalty means purity. We are at peace because we know who we are. So to all my fellow royals, it's just like when kids are playing outside and you know it's nightfall, it's time to come in, and then your mom calls and she calls your name, blah, blah, other moms comes and calls your name. You know when you heard your mom's voice, you tell your friend, okay, girls, see you tomorrow, my mama's calling, because you know her voice. Same thing. So I was very touched when I saw some of the comments of those who watched my video at African Diaspora News, people who felt touched, people who recognized the power in the message, because your ancestors on the other side have risen. It's time for you to go home. The prophecy said, if we obey, if we heal and become one again, the Creator will rise us up. The Creator promised us 1,000-year rulership. I don't know why some of you want to miss it and want to remain poor, being dragged on the floor, doing all this thing. So for those who don't feel called, that's their business. But I'm here for those who feel called, because your people want you back. So this is where I come in. That's why I set up this nonprofit organization called Nubia, the Path to Return. So number one is we have to heal. Number two, we organize our exit now. Some people freak out. We Africans have options. We can live here. We can go back home. Why? Because we already have a root. Now, those of you here who still identify themselves as children of Africa, you must go home, take root. What do I mean, take root? Get your identity back. Get a piece of land, a piece of property. You have to set your flag. Boom, I'm here. So, and then from there, you can come back, you can go and live wherever. When people get crazy there, you go back to where we come from. That's what gives you options in life. So that's what I'm here for. But I have to lead you to home. The prophecy said, it's only when you guys leave the Edom, you have to leave Edom, that after 400 years, that which is stolen will be returned. That which is lost will be found. And that which is destroyed will be rebuilt. The Creator has promised our people that we're going to be our own people again. But we have to unite as one, as He ordered us to do. So you have to see yourself in your brother, and your brother has to see himself in you, period. And unity is crucial to our survival. We have no choice but unite. If we can't unite, we need to stop wasting people's time. We need to stop causing people who really believe in unity. We need to stop putting them at risk for them to be out there when we really don't want to do anything about getting out of the condition we're in. But my dear people, we have every reason to want to. With what goes on around us, I would be like, if anything, if there's a switch I could just press for our conditions to change, for us to live at peace, for us to raise our children without worry whether they will come back home or not, for us to just be happy, if there's something I can do, I will do it today. Now, we are very hopeful because the Lord could have discarded us. I gave you everything and you betrayed me. You made a mockery out of everything I gave you and throw us away. No. He gave us a prophecy that, He's going to call off the dogs off of us once we get it together. So anybody entertaining the thought, the attitude of divisiveness, stay away from them. Please do. I see a lot of division when it comes to the so-called reparations. You guys have even divided groups, the whatever groups, these groups. You guys are still acting as slaves when you do that. And our former masters are just sitting and looking at them. Maybe they'll figure it out. How would you think that you can go and claim reparation without the involvement of the people where they stole you from? It means you confirming their story. that we don't want to get them involved because they're the one who sold us out. But you must pay us. If your crown kings sold you out, consider yourself their property. Because it means that God himself has sold you out. And none of our crown kings did such thing. Because they know what it means. Their people are their crown. Which king gonna do such thing? The king represents his people, and his people are the body of his crown. When you sell them, you have sold your crown. Who can do such thing, my people? Come on, think. But some of you want to go without your parents. When it comes to money, people, you just acting like a slave. The people where you come from are the one who will set value on your head. By them just coming forward and look at them in the eye, I know what you did. Now time is over. Where are your royal seals? I mean, we had seals that we gave to everybody we entered into agreement with. Anybody who bought anything from us. You guys have them? Do you guys have them? If the matter gonna have to go to court, you need the African royals to bring their evidence. You need your parents. There's a girl, oh gosh, I just felt her toxicity. The few lines she wrote. I mean, some of our people are deadly toxic out there. You feel their energy just so, ooh. You even want to say, oh, who do they leave around? She was like going on and on like, yeah, but I agree with her until she mentioned reparations. So you believe that the people the cops kill, their parents don't deserve a reparation. The checks they give to the victims of police brutality. Since the victim is the one who suffered death, so maybe the victim kids only should. This is your reasoning. Do you see how far this can go? And Africans, I'm like, we proud for a lot of Africans have kind of dropped the towel, like we don't even want to deal with them. I mean, fighting the white people is one thing, but fighting our own people over their stupidity is, some of us just don't want to deal with it because of things that don't make sense. Many of us, when we come here, they almost make you feel that by just looking at their news, they almost make you feel like only black people commit crimes here. These are the story they air all the time. While white people are killing their wives on daily basis, many of them go missing and stuff like that in the hand of their spouses or family members. No, but at first sight, you would think that only black people commit crimes. So what they do, they want to paint our people as being these extremely dangerous criminals and stuff. Do we buy in it? No. Because we saw them lying against our fathers. The way they lied against your forefathers, that's the way they're lying against you today. You're criminal, you're a thug, you're this, you're guilty until proven innocent and all these things. So you guys have to understand. And they've been so successful in tearing us apart that they don't even need to recreate the wheel. They just use the ones here to destroy the one in the continent. When we're done destroying each other, they sit on our land like they were successful in taking America without the Indians. That's the plan they have for the Africans. So when I come and talk about unity, I need you guys to just shut up. No, really, there's so much at stake. There is so much at stake for us to not want to unite. I wonder why some of us have children. Why do we have children if we're not ready to welcome them into a viable, a safe world? Why do we keep on having children? We want to maintain the divide. My people, we need to stop. We need to stop. Okay? Muammar Gaddafi, one of the reasons they killed His Excellency he gave them a price tag on the disorder they did in Africa, the ransacking they did in Africa, on the people they pulled out of the continent. He had everything broken down. At the United Nations, he gave them the price. You can look up that video. I'm going to find it and post it. One of the reasons they killed him. And you guys here want to be, oh, no, you are not entitled. My family, the royal family, was wiped out at 90%. So I shouldn't get any reparation if I'm in America. These are the things that hold us back. And that's why they've been treating us like kids, because we've been acting like kids. Dignity, my father told me, is one thing nobody can take from you. If you wake up one morning without it, it means like you have given it away somewhere. And how could you feel dignified if you uproot yourself, you cut your root, you want to be a floating flag, or you have no root? You're vulnerable. We all need a root. So we need to unite. The prophecy said, if we unite, we're going to make it. Not only we're going to make it, we're going to rise. We're going to get 1,000-year rulership. And we are the generation that will enter that era. So what does it mean? It's our generation responsibility to see it to pass. Okay, my people. And we are capable. Who else could have survived slavery if it's not us? All right? We had to take over the slave labor to spare the Indians. The Native Americans, they were going to wipe them out. I'm aware of all these things, all these treaties they had with our people. Because we're robust, we build to last. So we can do it.
La people